Hey, Drewz Viewz here, back for Peaky Blinders, reacting to said show, Season 3, Episode 5, penultimate episode of Season 3. So far this season, it's been a lot of Russian stuff. So, we have Tommy last time trying to make a move against the priest, and I think it's called like the Oddfellows organization or something. They're the ones kind of giving him the orders from, I think, Churchill and the government above. Then that backfired on him because Aunt Polly went and got a little wasted, went to church like that to confess, even though confession wasn't even open. It was Good Friday, didn't matter. She's like, I'm a Shelby, hear me out. Then the priest told the main priest, whose name I probably should know but don't remember, but the one time he doesn't like, and the one that Tommy found out the previous episode was passing information on against the plan. So the priest knows he has Tommy, has the shit kicked out of him basically. Tommy's in bad shape at the end of last episode. Internal bleeding, it seems like, stuff like that. But what he had sussed out was that the priests, etc., Oddfellows, whatever, government, they're just kind of setting up Tommy. They wanted the Reds or the Communists to know about the plan going down to steal the war machines or whatever they are from the factory. So the government then has an excuse to sever ties with the Soviet Union, which means basically that Tommy and the Shelbys would be kind of sacrificed in this plan. Obviously, he's not going to let that happen. So at the end of the episode, he had Ada call up some of her communist comrades to, I guess, let them know what's going on, essentially. So, got to see this episode, how he's going to get out of all this. But they're in a little bit of trouble right now. So, yeah, so other stuff from the last episode, yeah, like I said, Aunt Polly was getting pretty sloppy, but it actually may have worked out in their favor since they found out about what's going on because of this. Meanwhile, Arthur's woman, Linda, has her own plans for her and Arthur. Once they do this kind of last big score that was set up, she wants to move out like to California, she said. Tommy didn't seem all thrilled with that. I don't even know if this heist thing is going to work, because what they were planning on doing was stealing from the Russians, who they thought weren't going to pay them, like I think the Duke Duchess and all that. Now I don't know if it's even going to matter, because Tommy found out what the real plan was. But anyway, it was a big episode for the women last time. I talked about it in my recap at the last one, but even in addition to Polly and Linda, with the other ladies in the organization getting some good amount of screen time, they're all disgruntled in one way or the other with conditions, and there's a little scene of them kind of going to this rally for better, I think, wages and better privileges, rights for women out there in Birmingham, I guess, was where the rally was. But some of the younger women, I think, were taking it more seriously than like Aunt Polly. So that was going down, and I think other stuff happened too, but that's blanking right now. I know just the end, Tommy was in some serious pain there, but I think he's going to be getting it together here. So I'm going to start the episode off and find right out. I'm in heaven. It's David Bowie. Damn, this is going to be Tommy. Did he have to have some type of brain surgery? Head surgery? Yikes, he's looking rough. His beautiful blue eyes still looking good, though.
Take care of him.
Little opium, morphine cocktail. Oh, got a spoiler from the credits here. See, Tom Hardy's going to be back in this one. Perhaps Tommy's going to try to get help from him in some way here.
I need to speak to you about the priest. I know things about him. From when I was a boy. I will shoot him myself, Tommy.
Point. Pull the trigger.
And do that before you get the shit kicked out of you by like 4 big guys who are tailing you. Oh, got another time skip. This usually happen mid-season. Alright. So he can get his hair grown back. Some good breakfast, looks like.
Do you remember your medicine, sir?
Read it out loud, while standing naked next to my bed. When I take the morphine the doctor gave me, that's what you do.
She's like, whew. Blame it on the medicine. I didn't get caught. Assume this is the same factory they're supposed to steal the stuff from.
They never fired a shot. How do you know? Till they unload the bloody things.
Your brothers are here. And there's someone who described himself as the Wandering Jew.
That's gotta be it. T.H. Solomons?
Nice little place you got here, Thomas.
A little.
So many ancient injuries from your sporting life that your head is like some sort of smashed vase what has been stuck back together by an horse.
Yeah, because he got fucked up pretty good at the start of season 2 also.
You will also be able to see into the future.
So you don't have to worry about telling me what this is all about, do you? Because I have already seen it. You're fucking about with the Russians, isn't you, silly boy?
Or you marry the girl. This isn't a joke.
Arthur, are you really gonna live with the Apaches?
I wonder if it's the girl from the first episode of the season.
She doesn't want to have the baby. We know a woman.
Shut up, John.
Same woman who helped you out twice.
Interesting. I was wondering why Arthur had no kids before now. The one.
She bought new shoes. The money I gave her was for a good cause.
Interesting
If you're
rationalization.
gonna get on like this with the Apaches, they'd fucking scalp you by.
Tommy has a plan.
When doesn't he?
Oh, for shalom.
Alfie.
Shalom. Come here, come on, listen. It's just business. All right. I would also like to extend my personal apologies unto you. I hear that you have allowed Jesus to come into your life. Yeah, that's lovely. And I was wondering, how does that work for you on a day-to-day, considering your line of work, mate? Hello?
Good job, Arthur.
I'm Old Testament.
I wonder what's with the shit on Alfie's face. It's supposed to be scars?
Who are you gonna take? What is ours?
Yeah, but they already were planning to rob them because he thought that, so what's the new?
They are fucking insane. They're gonna test us.
Maybe this is Russians are going to see, well, or if they're going to play some more Russian roulette.
It's customary to check for such tattoos before engaging a man in business.
Tchaikovsky.
No.
Obey.
Bye, Arthur.
Duchess is like, I want this one.
It's the kind of bit surprise, eh?
Poor Arthur. This should be the catchphrase for this whole season. I think Linda would like this.
Allegiance is behind the boss. He wants to be a good man.
Well done, Arthur.
Michael, stop looking at your watch.
He's the lucky girl, Michael.
Her name is Charlotte, and Michael cannot breathe if he does not talk to her every 2 hours.
Gotta be honest, I don't know how much I cared about this Michael storyline that's popping up here.
We'd like you to help us.
Welcome to Shelby Company Limited. Our new head of property and acquisitions.
Whiskey.
Yeah, Tommy. You drive. Where are you going to drive?
See her painter friend.
Not yet.
So bloody go.
So I realized my recording cut off for a minute. Only thing I just missed here, I think, was, well, they're having the party. Arthur seems like he's getting back on the sauce here, more vodka and all that. And then John pulled the guy aside that last time there was a brief scene, last episode, they planted a guy, like an inside guy, like a guy to work there a few weeks for the Duke and Duchess here. He wants to like own his own pub to get the money for it, that sort of thing. And looks like he's having a little bit of a rough time right now, but yeah, that's all it was, so.
Looks a treat.
Tommy casing up the joint.
Mr. Solomons is the only jeweler I trust in London.
When you have fulfilled your part of the deal, the box will be delivered to you.
Yeah, well, there is a good reason for that, you know, little man. Because my shop, right, is just above a rum house, so...
You speak
I
Russian?
do, yeah, I do. You hunted my mum with dogs through the snow. Today, right, it's for forgiveness, isn't it? So I'll Nicholas, give you that. Give you 4.
5. With the royal provenance.
All the bad ideas around here, they're you, right? They are you, aren't they? Aye?
Mr. Solomons.
I didn't think Faber Jags usually had that much like stuff coming off of them like that. Pearls or whatever.
I brought that from Crimea myself.
Where'd you fit that in?
That does indeed bring us the entire selection to £70,000.
A woman of style and substance.
It's good, I guess.
Very good.
No, it's still wet.
So is she. Interesting. Looks like she was traumatized by that Campbell incident, which would make sense.
How did you feel when I held him? You were jealous?
I don't think so.
Why do you play games with people?
In Russia because we were bored.
I guess maybe he's married. I wasn't sure if him and Linda were married because I was kind of surprised she was going to have a kid with him out of wedlock, but I guess maybe they are. We just didn't see it. Just pulling a ring off there.
You still love her, don't you?
Jeez. She likes playing games, you know this.
And with that strangulation, there was also ecstasy. It's called Klisti, Siberian prayer.
A lot of choking stuff in this episode. So this is weird.
Killed a policeman. Cold blood.
When that guy was initially introduced, I was thinking, is he a spy or something? I don't think he is, but Polly really needs to keep a lid on this stuff. Jeez. The morning mist.
She shocked me dry, I swear to God. Like fucking spud water at the end. Yeah, what's God gonna say about it after that?
Tells Linda everything.
Don't think you should tell her this one, Arthur. But
IT's private.
7 left. Had a 50.
these are some of their war buddies, I guess.
The best tunneler I ever met.
So she's probably gonna find out whatever Michael had scheduled here. Abortion or whatever. The nosy moms. Engagement ring, I guess, probably. Nope.
Shouldn't go looking through other people's private things.
See rules say it must be passed
It's
on.
all about rules, Paul. Somebody asked me.
So it's the priestess name, I guess, he used.
Now if I tell you, I can't take the knowledge back.
This is gonna be like a Catholic priest molestation thing.
This is one of his special fathers.
This is when he was in the care of the Holy Fathers.
No, not my son. I will bring this whole fucking organization down around your ears.
Threatening. Oh, alright. Alright, so, yeah, I'll be honest, not my favorite episode there. It's a little slow, I guess. I mean, a lot of these episodes are slow. It's just kind of the pace of the show. I'm not expecting, like, non-stop action the whole time, but based on what they'd set up from last time, I expected a little more forward movement, I guess. I mean, they're still going along with this heist, or Tommy changed the plan for the heist. I still don't exactly know how he's getting around the other... Well, I guess, so there's a scene in the factory, they said the firing pins aren't really going to be in there, so... I guess his way around this, finding out what he found out last time, is he told the communists they know that if the pins aren't in there, the weapons won't work, so they won't attack the train, they'll just let it go by or whatever. I mean, I still feel like that might come back on Tommy, but then I don't know. I mean, I was just planning on killing the priest and all that anyway, but so they still want to rob the Russians because I don't think they'll get the money, but I don't really know why his plan had to change this time from last time, but, well, whatever. I mean, it's more interesting this way, I guess. He's bringing in his old war buddies. They're going to have a heist. I mean, I like heist stuff, but it should be cool in the next episode if it goes down. And he had brought Solomon's in for it, so I love that. Tom Hardy doing a funny and interesting performance as always in the show, or as always in general. But I definitely find that the Solomon's character is very comical most of the time, but while still being very menacing. And it was very kind of tense scene where he's appraising the jewelry there in the vault, and obviously bad blood between the Russians and Jews, I guess, from the previous century or from the beginning of this century. I'm not sure exactly when the events he was talking about happened. I guess it would have been from fairly recently if it happened to his mother, he said it sounded like. So even before World War II and the more famous, genocide, Holocaust, there was obviously Jews were having problems all over Europe for a long time. But the reason, so I liked for the most part, I liked all those. I mean, I definitely liked all those scenes. And then some of the other stuff with the Russians, it's interesting enough, I guess, with Tommy, and I mean, she still keeps pushing it. So the scene with Tatiana doing the choking stuff to Tommy, it's kind of like, what do you call it, the autoerotic asphyxiation, or I guess just erotic asphyxiation, if the auto part means yourself. She was doing it to him. And seeing Grace, whatever, when she still keeps really pushing it with him, I guess he ended up liking it this time since he did kind of get to see Grace. And there's some like dreamlike stuff from him, like the beginning of the episode started and dreamlike kind of stayed because he's on all the morphine and all that. Then the stuff at the end. So all right, it's interesting enough, but yeah, I would have liked maybe. I mean, we didn't get to see the priest at all, so then we found out about him. He apparently. All right, so the whole stuff. Let me go into the Michael stuff, I guess. So it is going down the path which I assumed it would, where Michael wants to do more the criminal side here, even though he might have his own reason for this particular one. Obviously, Polly's going to fight against that. That's where her and Tommy are going to come to blows, and she essentially even kind of threatened him at the end there. I saw it going that way. Now, there's some stuff in the middle, like with Michael, I guess, saying he's got that girl pregnant. I'm assuming it's the girl from the first episode, and they're still seeing each other. And I guess he's getting an abortion for her then, and then Arthur said he had done some of that stuff before, which makes sense, I guess, because I had been wondering kind of why he has no kids yet, and he's the oldest one and all that. But, so I guess he was taking care of him that way. But I was like, all right, this Michael storyline's not really interesting to me. Like, why is this coming up now? But then I guess it was kind of a misdirect for Polly to find out the real thing with the bullet and his reason for wanting to kill Hughes the priest. When he thought, I thought it was going to be an engagement ring or like something or other, or, it was over the girl, whatever. So I don't know if he is upset because of, I mean, it's definitely partially because of the abortion thing maybe, but also partially because he's memories of the priest now being dredged back up. I'm assuming it means he was abused. I don't know in what way. I mean, like, the way you think of it by today, it'd be like sexual abuse by Catholic priests. I don't really think, like, back in this time period, I don't think people would have believed it, or even if they did, like, just like kind of a couple of glances between Tommy and Polly, like they both get it, like, oh, that's what happened. I don't know if that's realistic, but I guess it could be in any other kind of abuse too, physical or whatever. Like, I'm sure that a lot of that was going on too with orphans and stuff back in the day, but your mind really goes to the other thing. So but whatever it is, I guess that's why Michael wants to kill him then. But Polly, rightfully, I think doesn't want him to. Obviously, I don't think most mothers wouldn't want their sons to do that, even if it is justified in a lot of cases. But I feel like it's gonna happen. Well, I don't know. We'll see. If it isn't this, I think Michael is gonna go do something against what her wishes are at some point here for sure. And then her and then Polly's whole thing with the painter. There's still a slight possibility maybe that he is like undercover. So I mean, he really does obviously is a real painter. It could be a possibility that the cops or whoever, someone looking to get dirt on the Shelbys or looking to go against them, kind of could have like coerced him into like cozying up to her maybe, because then she did like admit to her killing a cop. Again, like, come on. It's kind of like the trope, which I don't know. I mean, maybe it's true in real life too. When you get intimate with someone, afterwards you start revealing all your secrets. But anyway, I think she should keep her mouth shut on this type of thing. But at the same time, it might just be more characterization for her. This painter character might just only be there to give her, have more scenes with Polly, give her love interest, give her potentially more tragedy if something happens to him, or something happens, or I mean, even if it is the thing, if he is some type of spy or something, it still would be drama for her. And then we get the scenes that was interesting. They're kind of flashing scenes with her remembering Campbell assaulting her, essentially, and how that's affected her. So that was interesting. But overall, I don't know if this plot goes nowhere. Then I don't know if we needed to spend as much time on it. Anyway, yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah, so again, not my favorite episode, not bad or anything, but you know, a little. If I think if Solomons wasn't in this one, it definitely would have been maybe one of the worst, or it's definitely slowest. And for I guess in a lot of shows, I'm used to like the penultimate episode of a season being like a big episode where a lot of stuff happens. I guess Peaky Blinders isn't really that way. I mean, big stuff happened in like the second episode this season, but and maybe with some of these shorter season shows, like only 6 episodes a season, maybe it doesn't work that way as much as some like, I don't know, HBO type shows or something. But anyway, that would be that. I'm still very excited to see this heist go down or whatever happens with it. Will the plan work? Will it not? Oh, what will happen with Arthur? Yeah, I guess I didn't really touch on him, but poor Arthur, like I said, the motto for this season, even this series really, but will he tell his woman about what went down at the Russian party? I don't know. He's obviously conflicted, and he had the whole scene with Solomons where you know, he had to kind of accept his apology even though Solomons was still pushing it with him. So yeah, he's got to really suck it up here to get what he wants, I guess, which is to get out of there with his woman and unborn child and go to California or whatever. Will it happen? I still don't think it will, because, you know, why would it when he's just going to be out of the show with a happy ending? It doesn't seem that way. But hopefully he stays alive at least. We'll see, though, till we get back with Arthur, Tommy, and the rest of the gang next time for the Season 3 finale, Season 3, Episode 6, which I'll be back for on Drewz Viewz. Until then, we're up out of here. Peace.